What up, everybody? This is your Cosmic Homegirl, and I'm here to do a weekly forecast for you guys for the week that starts August 11th of 2019 and ends August 18th of 2019. Let's see what's going on for everybody. What's the astrological weather like? The cosmic weather? What's the vibe, the energy, and the air for this entire week? Before I get started on that, remember, if you want a horoscope for your sign, I do offer those for only $333 on my website, which is indigomoon.astrology.com. There's a horoscopes page, or I'll leave the link in the description box for an easy access to it. So go check it out if you want to know how any of the stuff I talk about affects you by your rising sign, which is the most accurate, or your sun sign, which is the second most accurate, or your moon sign, which tells you like more so like your feelings, you know, for the month or whatever. But how is everything affecting us all? Well, let's start with the 11th. I am doing this after the 11th because I was I was not able to record on the 11th. So I'm not going to go over like the moon and stuff for that day. But we do pretty much have the sun still in a conjunction with Venus. Actually, this is going on this whole week. Actually, this whole month. So I do have a video out for just August, like the whole month of August, an overview of the most major transits for everybody, you know, so go check that out on here on YouTube if you want to. But I do talk about this. The sun and Venus are together this whole week, but the 11th is like a very important day because, and I did, this is the 11/11 on the 11th. I want to tell you guys something that's really cool before I get into the horoscope. So August 11th is the birthday of someone who's very special to me. Who passed away, wow, like over 10 years ago now. It's actually a very special friend of mine. We kind of used to date, but you know, whatever. He's actually somebody who I have like north and south node conjunctions with in synastry. If you know more about astrology, you know that means those are the soulmate factors, which soulmate doesn't always mean happily ever after, hand in hand, skipping through the roses until you're old. It just means you're connected on a soul level, and you've been connected before in other lifetimes, and you've come back again, you know, together in this current one, and we'll probably meet again later. So we have that whole thing. So every year on his birthday, he will do something to my phone. He'll show me something in my phone, make something appear on my phone that's a reminder of him, or something with my phone. So when it was 11:11 p.m. on August 11th, I had just gotten back into having service on my phone, and I got a message pop up from his mom. But I wanted to screenshot the fact that it was 11:11 p.m. But right when I was about to do it, the time changed to 11:12, and I was like, oh man, I missed it. You know, that would have been cool to screenshot 11:11 p.m. on the 11th. And I was like, oh well, let me go read this message though from my guy's mom. And I opened the message, and when I opened the message, the time on my phone flipped back to 11:11. And I'm like, this is weird. I just saw it change to 11:12 before I opened this up. So I screenshot that, you know, and then when I was done reading the message, I got out of the message screen, and I swear I saw the time flip to 11:13, which was the actual time. So for the moment that I read his mom's text message, because I texted her because it was his birthday, he changed the time to 11:11, and 11:11 is a number, a time, you know, and even just like quadruple ones, that's like an opening to the gateway of like the spirit realm. You know, this number appears, and also 444, at least for me, they appear when people from the other side that are special to you, like but they're in spirit, you know, they've passed on. I see this number a lot, and 444 a lot, when they're letting me know that they're around. They're supporting me, they're guiding me, they're working on things. If I'm going through a crisis, you know, that's when I usually see this stuff a lot more. They're letting me know they're working on things, or they're around, or whatever. If I'm really like down, they'll, you know, I'll keep seeing 11:11, not just on the time, but like just randomly. And yeah, it's one of those numbers that, you know, it's a number to the spirit realm. So he changed the time on my phone back to 11:11 because I was like, oh man, I missed it. And then he's like, oh no, here it is. Yeah, that's really dope. I just wanted to tell you guys that story because this is a channel about spirituality. Astrology is a spiritual thing. The numbers have vibrations to them. Numbers are spiritual. You know, that's why we look at the degrees in astrology. And there's actually a lot more to the degrees of the planets in astrology than I even ever explain on this channel. It goes like super mad deep. You know, it's like 14 degrees. The number 14 means something. You add 1 plus 4, it equals 5. What does that mean about the vibration of Jupiter at this time? Like, it goes mad deep, but the numbers do matter, and the universe and the spirit realm speak to us in numbers. So I just thought I would share that. So anyway, moving along, and if anybody wants to timestamp to say, well, the horoscope actually starts here because you want to skip my little story, then go ahead. Okay, I don't care. All right, so what's going on this week starting on the 11th? Sun and Venus are together, but the 11th is a day to where a lot of shifts happen because we have Mercury moving out of Cancer and into Leo. Oh my God. You guys don't even know how relieved I am of this. No disrespect, Cancers, no disrespect to you guys and your energy, but yo, it's like so freaking emotional. And then it being Mercury retrograde and in Cancer. Oh my gosh. A lot of people, I've talked to a lot of people who have said like Mercury retrograde in the water signs, it's been hell for a lot of people, especially people who are water signs themselves. It's been, oh my gosh, it's been crazy. So Mercury is moving forward. It's still in its shadow period until the 15th, but now it's in Leo. So it joins Venus, the Sun, and Mars all in Leo. Yes. So this is sunnier, happier energy, more positive attitude. Oh my gosh. You guys, I posted on my Instagram, like, thank the sparkly golden gods of the universe that we have a Leo stellium in the sky fully now with all the personal planets all in Leo and no more in Cancer, which was super emotional, dragging and lagging along, being too caught up in your feelings and all that. No, Leo energy is like, let's get things popping. Let's get it moving. This is fire. Okay. So Mercury entered back into Leo. And this week, I always like to show you guys like Mercury where it's backtracking. It's going back over where it was at the end of June. I want to say the last week of June. It's trailing back over those same grounds. And also in mid-July, Mercury was here too. And Mercury is squaring Uranus. So the square is a challenge, right? Uranus rules technology. Mercury rules the tools that we use for technology, especially the ones that we hold in our hands, because Mercury rules your hands and what you do with your hands, as well as how we communicate with others, which can be digitally, electronically, it could be verbally, whatever. So these two planets squaring off and creating this tension between one another. Yes, there's still a lot of technological fails when it comes to our devices, when it comes to our methods of traveling, also, which Mercury can deal with, like driving, you know. So maybe people are having electronic issues with their vehicles or with their phones or computers or whatever. Oh my God, this is it. Totally been in full effect, you guys. I'm telling you, it's been so annoying. I can't wait for it to end. Oh, look, 111. Yeah, that's about the time the Mercury went into Leo. 111 is another one of those like spiritual numbers that mean a lot to me too, personally. So anyway, but Mercury will be squaring Uranus this week. So prepare for it's coming out of its shadow period. It's not all the way direct and acting right, and Uranus will make it act even more crazier. So people will be spitting out random stuff, saying random things, being a little more goofier than usual. But this is a square, which is tension and issues a lot of times, but it's also bringing ideas, like flashes of insight. This can bring anxiety, but it can also bring sudden ideas that are very outside the box, you know. So there's good and bad to every transit, whether it's a quote unquote positive or a quote unquote negative aspect. They'll both still have good and bad things to them. So Mercury square Uranus, that's going to be popping off this whole week. Also on the 11th is when Uranus actually goes retrograde. So Uranus retrograde and Jupiter comes out of retrograde. So what does that mean for us? I think I went over it in more detail on the August video for the month, But Uranus retrograde, that's like it's happening until January, because Uranus is one of the further away planets, so its orbit is a lot slower, has less of an effect on us, but it still has an effect. The effects are more subtle, you know, more subtly noticed, but still got to mention it. You know, it's still going retrograde. Uranus rules change and like sudden changes and stuff that, you know, we don't expect to happen, but they happen. And so when it goes backwards, it's more like internal rather than external events. So a lot of people may have a lot of inner things going on in their inner worlds that are sudden, you know, and unexpected, or maybe some aha moments, light bulb moments, epiphanies, or whatever. And Jupiter, it brings abundance and blessings and golden coins falling from the sky from rich Uncle Jupiter. And it brings good times, good feelings, knowledge, travel. Lots of stuff, but of course it depends on where Sagittarius is in your own chart, what it going direct means for you. But hallelujah, Jupiter retrograde, oh my gosh, it was very hard to grab opportunities properly. It was hard to get opportunities that started up off the ground. So now maybe things can move forward, you know, with stuff like that, depending upon where it is for you. If it's finance, if it's love, if it's career, whatever, like now things can move forward and proceed forward. And Jupiter will be here moving direct in Sagittarius until beginning of December. So we still have 4 more months of Jupiter in Sag. Now he's going to start bringing some good stuff. Okay. I'm so excited about that. More optimism and just good stuff. So that's the 11th. That's why the 11th was like a really, you know, important day. And then after that, you know, there's not really too much cracking for a few days, but of course I'm gonna do the moon phases. Sun and Venus still together the whole week, and Sun, Venus, and Mars. Sun and Venus are catching up to Mars. So these are all 3 together. This is a lot of fire, you guys, a lot of fiery energy, a lot of confidence, a lot more confidence people have. I'm noticing that. Or it can bring up confidence issues. Like if you don't feel confident in yourself, it could be bringing that up and asking you, well, what you gonna do? You know, what are you gonna do about that? The universe is asking you that with all this Leo in the air. Like, you're gonna make a move, you're gonna take some action, or you're just gonna sit there and be like, I can't do it, you know? So all this Leo energy is like, get up off your butt. Let's go. We are fierce. We are fabulous. We are in full effect. Let's get some shit done. Okay. So that's what's going on. But we have on the 13th, the moon is in Aquarius. So we're building up to a full moon in Aquarius. Every month we have a full moon and we have a new moon, and they're in different signs, and then they go in order of the zodiac and all that. So this month's full moon is in Aquarius. But the moon enters Aquarius in the morning on the 13th. And so whatever is going on starting on this day is going to give you some clues, cues, and insight into what the full moon is going to bring for you. And once again, depends on where Aquarius is in your chart, Aquarius and Leo, because it's on the axis. The full moon is the sun and the moon. They're opposing each other. That means they're in opposite signs. That's why you see the moon all huge in the sky and lit up, because the light of the sun is reflecting upon it from opposing it, right? So they're in opposite signs. So on the axis of Aquarius and Leo, what is the full moon doing for you? You'll find out in the days prior, okay, starting around the 13th. But maybe even a little before that, you can, you know, experience and see some effects of it. So yeah, speaking of that, then we move to the 15th. That's the day of the full moon in Aquarius. It's going to be at 22 degrees. Yeah, it's going to be at 22 degrees. Hello, you going to move or what? Yeah. So, this is slow. Technology. Mercury's not direct yet. I mean, it's not out of shadow yet. Okay. So, oh, there we go. Hello. So also on this day, so yeah, we have the full moon. So it looks like it's in the early morning, on the West Coast of the USA where I'm at. It's early in the morning. It's, you know, later east of Pacific time. But this is going to be the full moon in Aquarius, right? Now, we also have Mercury going fully out of its shadow period because it's reached that 4th degree of Leo the degree that it went retrograde, and it's moving past that. So once it gets past that, it's in the clear. You can proceed with any matters regarding Mercury. Mercury, once again, is communication, driving, what you do with your hands, learning skills, talking, all that stuff. The devices that you use to communicate, the vehicles that you drive, that's all like Mercury matters. Contracts and agreements and deals and there's been miscommunications with Mercury retrograde and in shadow period, mishaps with technology. All that stuff will start clearing up after the 15th. Hallelujah. I'm sure you guys are sick of it just as much as I am. So I'm happy for all of us. But we have this full moon though. Okay. We have the full moon, and look at this. Venus is at the same degree as the full moon. So Venus is involved. Also, Mars is very much in close proximity. So Mars is involved too. It's not really making any significant aspects to any other outer planets that I can see. So it's really just, the full moon involves Sun, Venus, and Mars opposing the moon. So it's very important to know where is Leo in your natal chart. What's your rising sign or even your sun sign, and how many signs away from your rising or sun sign is the sign of Leo. Then that's when you know what house or area of life it affects for you. So pretty much this is a push-pull energy, a full moon. You got to figure out a middle ground here. There's a lot of tension going on. That's why every month when it's a full moon, people wild out, they act up, because they're having this internal conflict. The moon rules our emotions and our internal world and our house and home and family and all that emotional junk, right? So this is like internal conflicts brewing, emotional conflicts that happen outside of you also brewing, with other people. So it's a good thing that Venus and Mars are here as supporting characters in this full moon, in the solar part of it. Now, just in general, a full moon in Aquarius is about unity of everybody being on the same page. It's humanitarianism. It's like everybody respecting each other as fellow humans, regardless of any other classifications that they decide that they fall under, like gender, race, country of origin, belief systems, whatever. Aquarius energy doesn't give a shit about any of that. It's like we are all just plain flat out humans, and can we all just get along? Aquarius is very that. Aquarius also rules technology and, reaching masses of people through one outlet somehow. And that's why it rules like technology and like the internet, social media, because look at, the symbol for Aquarius is the waves, and, of course, the water bearer, all that crap. Yeah. But I look at it in modern times, the waves of technology, with internet, with Wi-Fi, aren't those waves? And through that, we transmit messages, right? And also, even before that, television. Now television's more advanced, but even back in the day, you had an antenna, you had to receive the channels, right, through the antenna, and that was invisible waves. Radio, same thing, the air waves. That's all ruled by the planet Uranus, but Uranus rules the sign of Aquarius. So it's all Aquarian stuff. So just in general, a full moon in Aquarius can bring something to a head or something to your world that has to do with any of those things that I just mentioned, okay? But also this is about belonging to a group of people. It could be about, this is why Aquarius energy is so damn weird, and everybody's like, I don't understand Aquarius, because they have like these different sides to them, right? Because they're actually dually ruled. They're ruled by Saturn, which is all about like tradition and all this stuff, but they're also ruled by Uranus, which is about breaking the rules and tradition and saying, whatever, I do what I want, So that's why Aquarius energy is so complex, because at the same time that it could be all about all of us being under the same something and not even looking at each other as far as like separating each other by like classifications. It could be very that, but Aquarius is also about having a group of like-minded individuals gathered together, and maybe you will have like a name or a label or something that you're all united under. You see what I mean about the complications of it all? Like Aquarius is, that's why they're so weird. But anyway, so this could mean something about like, you want to, the axis of Aquarius and Leo is about this. Leo is like, I am the star of the show, you know, I am the only one with the spotlight on me, and it's all about me, 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 me. That's what Leo energy is like. Wanting to shine on your own, everybody knowing your name, not, oh, you're so and so affiliated with blah blah. No, this is me. This is who I am. You love me as me. So that's Leo energy. But Aquarius is like when you're with a group of people, you know, you're with a group, the group has a label, it has a name, and you're like in the mix of that somewhere. You know what I'm saying? So if you have like a group, a league, a crew, a gang, like any big like circle of people that you're affiliated with, and you guys all fall under one thing, that's what Aquarius is. So this could be about, yo, are you going to shine your own light out there as an individual known as you, or are you going to be caught up in the mix of like a group, and the group name gets all the shine and you're just like under the umbrella of it? You know, you don't get individual special treatment. That's the difference between Aquarius and Leo. So there could be something in general for us all that's brought to a head with that. The supporting casts: Venus, love, beauty, relationships, enjoyment, the physical world, material world, money, the stuff we like to buy, the stuff we like to consume. That's all Venus's energy. And then, so there's something maybe to do with regard to relationships or money or something that changes with this full moon. And then also we have Mars here. You know, Mars is taking action. Venus and Mars together is very feisty, very passionate energy. I love Venus and Mars together. Woo! Yes. But this could be having the passion and the drive to make whatever necessary changes come up with this full moon, right? So that's as much as I could say for us, like collectively what it means. You'd have to know where these signs are in your chart to know like the individual changes and effects that happen. So on the 16th is when we do have Mercury. It's finally out of shadow, but it makes a direct square to Uranus. See, Mercury's at 6 degrees, Leo, Uranus 6 degrees. So that's an exact square. So that means that all the stuff I mentioned with like, there can still be a little bit more technology mishaps and communication stuff that comes through, you know, issues and everything. There can still be a little bit more of that, even though Mercury is out of its shadow period technically. But yeah, people could be just like mad weird on this day. You know, this makes me think of like doing different like voices and accents and just being super goofy. That's what it brings out of me, this Mercury and Uranus square. I'm already like that because I have Uranus in my first house, so I embody like Uranian energy, and I'm already like very weird, and I do a lot of voices, accents. Like I'm like a big old cartoon character. You know what I'm saying? So like everybody is going to get a taste of that with how they communicate, how they speak with Mercury square Uranus. Now, I will say that this is one of those be careful driving transits, okay? Because Uranus causes sudden, unexpected events, and Mercury rules driving, the act of driving, you know, turning the steering wheel and all that. So be careful driving this week, you guys. Don't want to hear about anybody else getting into any little, you know, fender benders or nothing like that, right? But yeah, people will just be a little crazier, a little kookier, a little more like out there, and just not even giving a F about what they say with this right here. And then on the 17th, this is when Mars shifts into Virgo. Oh, I forgot to talk about the moon. Okay, so oops, we did have the full moon on the 15th. On the 16th, or no, it's more like the 15th, like really late at night, I believe, or into, you know, the next morning. Yeah. So here where I'm at on the West Coast, it's 10 at night. Elsewhere, it's into the 16th. The moon shifts into Pisces. So the moon will be in Pisces for a couple days, starting on the 15th. So this is very dreamy, spiritual, like daydreaming, la la land energy. And we'll be feeling that very much. It's very hippie-ish, very, you know, can't we all just get along? Like a Pisces energy is like that too. It's about music, dance, art, movies. It's romantic. It's all of that. It's very like mermaid, you know, I'm just swimming along in my own zone. Moon and Pisces days are like that. Moon and Pisces days are good for just if you don't really have much to do as far as like work and responsibilities. Is good days for tapping into spirituality, any spiritual work or spiritual practices. You're going to receive the messages a lot more clearly. If you do any type of art, look at Leo is about performance and performing arts and having like just the confidence to get out there and make those moves, you know. Pisces is about the flow of like the movements and the creativity just flowing through you. So when the moon is in Pisces and all this Leo stuff is popping off, excellent days for creative endeavors, right? Your imagination runs a lot further away when the moon is in Pisces. So then, yeah, so on the 16th, also the moon's in Pisces. The moon, it looks like on the 17th, that's when the moon, it encounters Neptune. Neptune is the ruling planet of Pisces. It's in its home sign. Yeah, so it looks like in the morning or in the afternoon, depending upon where you are. But on the 17th, the moon and Neptune are together. People will be extra sleepy, extra tired on this day, zoned out, la land, not fully paying attention, especially not to practical world stuff. You know what I'm saying? So it could be harder to focus when the moon is with Neptune. Neptune is a planet of dreams too. So if you're still asleep at this time, your dreams will be more profound. Like they'll have messages in them, or they'll just be super extra weird and trippy and like psychedelic or something. But for a lot of us, I look at Neptune, look at the symbol for it. Doesn't it look like, here they have it look more like the you know, Neptune's thingy-mabob that he carries, the god of the sea, you know. But sometimes on some sites, the symbol looks like an antenna. Like, to me, it looks like an antenna, and it acts as an antenna. The moon is like your inner mind and your emotions, right? It's like receiving messages, you know. The moon itself, like around the earth, it acts like a satellite, and it can be like that for you too personally. So when it's like in the same alignment with Neptune, it's like an antenna that you receive like messages from the spirit realm. You know, if you believe in anything spiritual, it's beyond this earth. That's what Neptune rules and Pisces rules. So these two together, like, your intuition will be super on point on the 17th. Trust your intuition, trust the messages you receive in your dreams, and so on. Okay. But yeah, it's like not the easiest day to focus. People lose their keys, their glasses, their hat, their any like small items, their debit card. Like, people lose track of stuff like that so much easier when we have a moon in Pisces in general, especially if you're a Pisces yourself. But also when it's conjunct Neptune, that happens a lot. So then we have Mars moving into Virgo. And you know what's funny about this day, the 17th, is we have the moon in Pisces, and then we have Mars moving into Virgo, right? Mars in Virgo. Virgo is a sign that it's the opposite sign of Pisces. So it's more about organization and detail and practical stuff and getting things right and perfect and, you know, paying attention to all of that. And Pisces is like, who cares if it's not perfect? We can color outside the lines. We can walk, you know, outside the lines and whatever. Like, we can be wishy-washy back and forth, and it shouldn't matter, man. You know, Pisces is the last sign on the zodiac. The last sign doesn't give a about the regular world, because it's like, I'm at the end here, I'm just coasting. That's what Pisces energy is like. So we have the moon in Pisces with Neptune, very la land, and then Mars moves into Virgo. I'm telling you guys, on the 17th, Virgos will be like losing their shit. Like, they'll be off the chain, start getting even more like about things being done correctly and exactly and staying on task, and oh my god, why isn't anyone else doing this right? How come I'm the only one? Virgos are going to start wigging out. Or if you have Mars in Virgo yourself, start wigging out about the perfectionism. And then you're going to look at other people, they're like do la da. What? Why do I have to follow a rule? Why can't I just do things and just be like, whatever? That's this energy. So Virgos, you guys are going to be wanting to pull your hair out on this day, if you're still up at this time, okay? Or like the 17th into the 18th. But yes, Mars moves into Virgo on the 17th. And it stays here until October 3rd. So for like a month and a half, we have Mars in Virgo. Mars is action, It's how we assert ourselves, how we fight back. It's like how we actively do things and like physically move around and stuff. That's Mars and Virgo. So that's Mars, but when it's in Virgo, yeah, the anxiety is off the chain. Especially it's going to be making a trine aspect, which is a good aspect to Uranus, which it rules like electric shocks and buzzes of electricity and lightning is Uranus. So it's going to be shocking Mars, and Mars and Virgo is already like just off the chain with their like, you know, like, oh my God, things have to be done now. Like, so, you know, pretty much that's how people, the anxiety may increase. I'm just letting you guys know. I'm just keeping it real. But this is good for, what is Mars in Virgo square Uranus good for? I don't know, because Mars in Virgo really is perfectionist in nature and has a plan and executes things, which, you know, Mars is how you execute things with precision because they have a plan. They have a plan of action before they even take the action. They have things in order. They have an itinerary. They have a schedule. Okay. So taking action based on Mars, that's what it's like. But Uranus in the mix ruins. Uranus laughs at schedules, laughs at routines. Mwahaha. Or like a kooky mad scientist, like, ooh, you know, that kind of laugh. That's what I imagine Uranus does. And so if you have a plan, a schedule, a routine, an order to how you're going to execute things, an aspect from Uranus is going to just laugh at that and ruin it and throw a lightning bolt up your butt and like change everything real fast. And you're just going to have to adjust to it, you know? So that's what this aspect is going to carry on even past, like, I'm only covering through the 18th right now. It's going to carry on past that. But Mars in Virgo is a really good Mars energy for getting a lot of tasks done and doing them non-stop. Mars in Virgo is like one of the dopest Mars placements, in my opinion, because they keep going and going. They have mad stamina. Mars in Virgo. Yes, they do. I'm just saying, I'm talking about like working and stuff. You know what I'm saying? Mars in Virgo has a lot of stamina because Virgo energy is, I call it the hamster wheel. You hop into that hamster wheel and it's hard for you to get out. You just keep going. You understand that things cannot be stopped until they're all the way finished. And that's how Virgo energy is about tasks, you know, in general. So Mars and Virgo will keep going. If you ever want somebody to work for you, it doesn't matter what industry it's in. If you want somebody to work hard, you want somebody to work overtime, extra hours, and be like, yo, I am not out of here yet because this is not complete. And there were some errors. I have to go back and correct them, yada, yada, yada. Mars and Virgo, those are your people. Okay, they're your people. But this is what energy is being bestowed upon all of us. So we will all have a touch of Mars and Virgo energy going on, you know. So it'll give us a lot more stamina, a lot more drive to complete things, see them all the way through, not be wishy-washy, you know what I'm saying? Not give up, but see them all the way through until they are finished. Because look at the symbol for Virgo. It's got an end that's tied. So there are no loose ends allowed when there's Virgo energy in the mix, okay? Like, things have to be done. You don't stop until they're done. So this is a good energy for everybody to have a greater work ethic that we'll be experiencing. So hallelujah, Mars. I liked Mars and Leo, although I have Leos around me and they're just bonkers and just, oh my God, so irritating when Mars is in their sign. Super sassy and it just unnecessary drama and like unnecessary theatrics that are being performed over the littlest things. Like, okay, this has to stop. So Mars and Virgo, yay, this is great. Okay, and that's pretty much it. You know, then the moon continues to be in Pisces. The next day, the moon shifts into Aries on the 18th. Looks like it's probably like, yeah, like in the morning sometime. The moon shifts into Aries and it's going to be there for a couple of days, you know, but on the 18th, it'll be there. So moon in Aries is very, very like, let's get her done. You know, that's how Aries, you just do it. You just jump and do it. Like, that's Aries energy. So we'll have more of a go-getter attitude overall starting on Sunday, the 18th, because of the moon. You know, moon in Pisces is just, you're floating, just coasting. You don't care about anything, right? Anything real world, practical, responsibility. What are those? That's moon in Pisces. Now, moon in Aries is like, okay, what needs to be done? Let's just do it. Let's do it. Don't even think about it. Just do it, right? It's impulsive, yes, but it gets shit done. So moon in Aries, and then we have Mars in Virgo, which is also about just getting things done. And then we still have this stellium of planets hanging out in Leo, fire energy, you know. So this is a good day on the 18th to do anything that you need to really focus and concentrate on and just get done and plow through. So much powerful energy on that day. The only thing I don't like about this moon in Aries, like when the moon is in Aries, it enters Aries and it's in a conjunction with Chiron, you know, the wounded healer. This is where you're bruised, you've been victimized, you know, where have you been hurt? And so Chiron brings that stuff up. And of course, it's the wounded healer, so it could bring like healing energy also. But the moon is our emotions and our inner mind. So when the moon is in contact with it, our emotions and our inner mind may be aimed towards victimization, suffering, you know, woe is me, when this was happening to me, blah, 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 blah. And when I was hurt by this, yada, yada, yada. Like, you know, people will be kind of little in their feelings, more emo, but this is Aries energy, which is very defensive. So people will be, in their emotions about stuff, but they'll be defensive about it though. Like, you don't mess with people. You don't talk about people's mamas or any type of issue that they have during moon and Aries days, period. But when it's early degrees like this and in contact with this guy, no, people will be in their feelings and they will swing at you based on that feeling. Okay. So, so we have the moon in Aries on the 18th. It'll be there the whole day pretty much. So yeah, it doesn't move past Chiron until like probably the next day on the 19th, but we'll talk about that once I do cover that week. So anyway, you guys, that's what's going on, this current week as far as the cosmic weather. So I hope everybody has a good week. And thank you so much for tuning in. Remember, I do offer horoscopes for the signs on my website. I'll leave the info below. And I appreciate you guys being my ride or dies and rocking with me and listening to my crazy forecast with my crazy cartoon character self. Thank you so much. Don't forget to follow me on social media. I haven't been as active on there. Had a lot of personal and technological issues that I am working diligently on right now. So if you don't see me as much, listen, I'm still a human, even though I'm kind of alien-ish, you know what I'm saying? And I'm a mermaid too, you know, a mermaid and an alien. But I still got human things, you know what I'm saying, going on. And if you don't see me, hey, listen, I'll be back. Okay, I'll be back as soon as I can. But still, my social medias are also in the description box below. Hallelujah for Mercury going direct, y'all. I'm just saying. I mean, coming out of shadow period. So have a good week, and I'll see you guys in my next video. All right, peace.